This is not the church of Joseph Smith on the covenant path. As a physician and surgeon, I have great admiration for medical professionals, scientists, and all who are working around the clock to curb the spread of COVID-19. I am also a man of faith. Live each day so that you are more prepared to meet your Maker. And a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Travis went good, so. I guess I should be positive. I actually kind of liking that new show on CBS. It's not an all access, so it can be watched on regular TV if you don't want to spend the money to have no commercials for your Star Trek Discovery. But yeah, women are weird. That's the theme of the show. What's also weird, Mormons. See, the Utah's need for food assistance triples, according to Fox 13 News Utah on YouTube's Fox 13 News Utah channel. And if you think that this is social media, what the hell are you redefining what social media is? This isn't actual news. It's local news for Utah. Even though it's Fox, local news do not get categorized under the national branding. But yeah, people are weird. And so yeah, you have all of these people saying, oh, they're getting their news from social media. I get my news from YouTube's social media, but it's actual news, not the bot channels. I'm not going to try to replicate it. How can people be dumb? I mean, if anybody's coming to me for news, you need to understand I'm not an official licensed news reporter. So, but I still try to make sure that I tell you guys the truth about the church, how evil they are. Like we're doing with this video. Again, the need for food has tripled. And I remember reporting way back in the, it was like June, I think it was, where I told you that the food bank wasn't going to provide any more food. They didn't have any donations. But apparently they got donations. It's just that people who donate to the food bank are giving away their worst food that they won't eat themselves. And so it's like, are you seriously thinking that the homeless are the type of people, or the people in need of food assistance are the type of people who will take whatever crap you give them? And you think that makes you the good person? I'm giving food. Oh, I'd never eat that. I don't even know why I bought that. It was just a mistake. I think the kid put it in the cart thinking it was candy. It's just, the whole thing is just all wrong. But, you know, hey, it's made worse because when you realize that the need for food has tripled, and then you go to the election results in Utah, and as everywhere else is flipping blue and voting for Biden, Utah sees a red tide, is what they're calling it. Not only did they vote for Trump, they voted for Cox. It's as if they forgot who caused the problem in Utah. Who was put in charge of the task force? What are you upset about? Who is responsible? Oh, the person in charge of the task force is responsible for why you're upset. And you voted him in. There's a definition of stupid that is missing when it comes to Utah's intelligence. I just don't get it. I mean, I see it when they're talking about the ducks that were left from a Idahoan here in Utah in Salt Lake City, which is a criminal violation. You know, you have hunters saying, oh, no, you can't do that, man. You got to be respectful. Keep the hunting going so that you can keep hunting. You know, hunters know the system and the process, but when it comes to coronavirus, all logic gets thrown out the door. And so they put in Cox. Does Cox want to pay you money for staying at home and staying safe? Hell no! And so as you lose your jobs, you don't get money. So that you can pay for basic necessities. And thus you have to go to food assistance. Because, what, you thought the church was going to give you something? That's funny. You thought that. And so, yeah. I mean, the news alone should be telling you the church ain't giving anything. See, the food banks have tripled. Why aren't they going to the church? Because the church says, oh, no, you got to have a job. You got to be working in order to get food from us, and it's only temporary. Why do you have these storehouses? Oh, because it was inspired through a prophet of the Lord. Yeah, but you're not giving. You are resistant to giving. You make it complicated. You have Mormons jump through hoops. You won't even give to non-Mormons. See, the Catholics, yeah, everybody. You're not Catholic? Here you go. And the Mormons can't even follow their example, let alone the example in the Book of Mormon, of which is their keystone scripture. And it just doesn't make any sense. Why are you voting for conservative values, which are Luciferian? They flipped the inverted pentagram now on the conservative elephant. And Mormons don't see it? Mormons don't care? Which one's the Mormon? It must be the conservative one, the Republican. Okay, we'll vote for them because they're Mormon. Yeah, and so now food assistance triples because of the Mormon in charge and the Mormon president. This is... And again, the auditor comes out with the Department of Agriculture and Food to expose another scandal scam. The guy went to a rodeo in Vegas and charged it as a business expense. But he's Mormon, so everything he does is from God. No! I was born and raised Mormon. I knew better. I was taught correctly. What the hell's going on in Utah? What the hell? Literally, what the hell? Who taught you Mormonism? Mormons? I don't. Maybe I didn't grow up in a Mormon peer-pressured environment. Maybe that's what it is. Because I grew up drinking Mountain Dew. You guys think it's an evil sin. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. What the hell is wrong with Utah Mormons? You want things, but then you demand things that are contrary to what you want. I don't get it. The concept of action and consequences are not sinking in your thinking processes. If you don't want to be begging for food, you don't put a government leader in charge who doesn't want to give you food and causes your poverty. It's a no-brainer. And yet Mormons, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe Russia hacked our voting machines. And nobody noticed because Utah's always been a red state. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Russia hacked our voting machines and nobody knew because nobody thought to even check. Oh, yeah, they're voting red again. Yeah, that's what Utah is. They vote red. Yeah, so I guess nothing wrong here in Utah. You know, it's just like, you don't want to be beaten by cops? Well, don't vote for a governor who calls you a domestic terrorist when you protest. It's that simple. It's not complicated. And then you have Oaks. Oh, you guys can't protest. That's a sin. You have to take us to court, where we control all the federal judges and the state judges and the local judges because they're all Mormon. They're in our pocket, or we're in their pocket, or how is that? Because Mormons pay the church, so I guess Mormons are in their pocket, or they're in Mormons' pockets. Whatever. It's just mind-boggling. It's just one of those things that just doesn't make sense, and nobody can explain it. And examining the culture, even being Mormon, there is no explanation. I mean, entertainment, the Capitol Theater closed, coronavirus, and you know, all the rich people go there. You know, a Bravenel Hall, all of the rich, fancy places, everybody goes there. Now they can't go there. Oh, wait a minute, we're privileged white Mormons in Utah. What do you mean you're closing down our entertainment? I had my mother, who was a racist, and her justification was, I'm not as bad as my parents. Great, thanks. I never knew that about my grandparents. They never spoke racist things in front of my presence. But, you know, thanks for throwing them under the bus to justify your racism. And so she would say, talking about the church's parties in the cultural hall, or just other forms of entertainment, and it would always be about ethnics. And I'm going, you can't, whites are ethnic too. But no, she doesn't see it that way as a racist. As a racist, she only sees others as ethnic. And she thinks she's being culturally appropriate by saying ethnic. And so for her, it's blacks and Hispanics and Polynesians. They're the ones that have to entertain her. And she didn't really listen to colored music growing up. Nope, Elvis. Until he'd started his drug years. And then she was no longer an Elvis fan. She kept living in the past. This is the only Elvis I know. No, I don't recognize any of his other music. It was not him. It was the drugs. It just... I don't... I give up. I surrender. I can't figure Mormons out. They're not logical. But I just... You guys are being destroyed and you don't even care. You don't even see it. You don't make the connection. You're causing your destruction with your choices from brainwashing. And that is what it is. You're brainwashed. It is the leaders of government and religion, especially religion, that have deceived you. They're just pulling you along from one end to the other, and you don't make the connection that your choices and your loyalties are, you don't make the connection to the suffering that you're experiencing. Dear God. And then, you've been brainwashed and conditioned to attack me. Oh, Travis, you can't do that. You can't say, No, you're an anti-Mormon, Travis. Oh, yeah, you just pulled the hate card. Good job. Church teach you that? Yep, sure did. So I just... Yeah. And so, yeah, all this talk about December getting the vaccine, well, Utahns can expect to get the COVID-19 vaccine by July. By July. They keep pushing it back. It was April. But if you're not paying attention to the news, you're not going to catch those little details. So, yeah, I just... Things are going to destroy your lives, and you just don't care. Remember Governor Herbert? We'll keep going here. He ordered the mask mandate. The national news got fooled because everybody's normalizing that we have to maintain an economy during a viral crisis. That's brainwashing. When you normalize something, you've been brainwashed. And Herbert's intention, okay, well, we'll do mask mandates now. That'll lower the virus stats, and I can justify opening up for Thanksgiving. Turns out, I told you we're going to have an outbreak for Thanksgiving because Mormons demand to have their Thanksgiving. Screw the virus. If I die, it's God's will. Oh, really? Yeah, well, I hate to tell you this, but you've made your God Nelson. He's the one responsible for the virus. And that's why I worked hard on making the little sound clip of the 3 lightning strikes. I had to take a video clip segment out and then duplicate it and duplicate it again to make the 3 things, and then turn that into a video, and then had to convert the video into MP3 so that I could, hoping that I could put it on a more useful purpose. Came up with Mormon Files. Nobody cares. I mean, granted, I'm working with YouTube analytics so that new people have to take time to build up a viewer subscriber base, but they don't. Too many problems, as I made that my only playlist that they got put in, And it's not being made known to subscribers, let alone others. But your Thanksgiving's ruined because of Nelson. Do you understand this? Nelson ruined your Thanksgiving. And he will ruin your Christmas. And he will ruin your New Year's. And we'll just keep going until you finally figure it out who the cause is. He hopes you forgot. That's how they do it. They cause a problem, and then they let time go by as people suffer, as people complain about their immediate problem, because they don't see it as Nelson coming into their lives, you know. And so they don't make the connection that Nelson caused their problem. And instead, Mormons turned and said, oh, Nelson predicted, he prophesied of coronavirus. Do you remember when you pulled that stunt? And I went, oh, hell no, I'm the one that predicted this, not Nelson. Nelson was intending to have the whole year dedicated to the first vision. Remember? Hello? Remember? And how much has he done with the first vision this year? Oh, yeah, he skipped the priesthood session and had that first vision session. That was it. That was all. October, nothing. No first vision. He just scrapped it. They had it planned. Oh, it'll be an unforgettable year. That's what he was referring to. About the first vision. Oops. You got to pay attention. And yet you have Mormons doing clips. Oh, all of the prophecies of Nelson, all of the things he did. Yeah, it's great. Great for a resource. But you misunderstood what it was all about. You're not putting it together. So yeah, I'm frustrated with you. I'm pissed off. You guys are brainwashed. And so that's how I am with my relationship with my second ex, the woman formerly called my second ex, is because she's been brainwashed. And I knew she was. But she's a sweet kid despite her racism and bigotry and hatred. But she doesn't make the connection. She gives loyalty to Nelson over the Book of Mormon, over Jesus, whom she loves. It's all about Jesus with her. And yet when push comes to shove, I'm saying that Jesus is being contradicted by Nelson. She's like, no, I'm going to stick with Nelson. The church is true. But Nelson's not with Jesus. He's not with the Book of Mormon. He's not with Joseph. He even said, this isn't Joseph's church. We're hinge pointing. It's a new normal now that we've hinge pointed. He outright declared, I've brainwashed you. It worked. It worked. Looking at a whole screen of how Nelson has brainwashed Utah. Whole screen of videos. 6 per row. You know, Baby Yoda came to Utah. That was so awesome this morning. The Mandalorian's trying to have Baby Yoda fix the ship. Just hilarious. Red, blue. Oh man. Oh, just awesome. And more homicides. West Jordan. I don't think I saw the erection commercial. They don't use the word. They use ED in place of it. And they don't say masturbator. Vibrating masturbator. It's just... and here they are talking about medical marijuana. Remember, the church didn't want this. More Utah doctors will be able to prescribe it under the new bill. A new bill? Really? Oh, why is there a new bill? Oh, the church came out and ruined the other one? And said, create a new bill. We don't like this bill. Oh, God. Yeah, we're done.